Hey, what's up? Yo, what up? It is the Ant-Man channel. It's Friday the 19th of July 2013. And I got an article here in front of me from WND.com under the column Education. If you want to come look at this, because it's going to totally sound absurd. So you're going to want to come look at this for yourself, because I'm not making this up. uh, But anyways, student booted from U.S. college for favoring English. Sues school over 9 months suspension for requesting nursing studies not be conducted in Spanish. I mean, whoa. I didn't know that was such a big issue. This is by Bob Unruh. Bob Unruh is. Just going to give him credit out there because he's the real journalist, you know. I'm just kind of making it more convenient for people to hear the news. That's all I really do. An Arizona college is being sued for labeling a student a bigot and punishing her with a long-term suspension after she requested that English be used in her nursing studies class so she could learn the subject. The action was filed against Pima Community College on behalf of student Terry Bennett, who alleged that school officials created a learning environment that was hostile to her as an English language speaker. The complaint alleges that Bennett repeatedly was thwarted in her work listening to lectures, finishing group studies, and participating in skill labs. Clinicals and other learning activities by fellow students who spoke Spanish, which she did not understand. Study groups and labs in which she participated, an essential part of her nursing training, were being conducted in Spanish. I would be totally like, I feel like I was in the Twilight Zone. I'd be like, I didn't sign up for Spanish. Why are you primarily teaching in Spanish? Kind of weird, right? I don't know. The Constitution was written in English, I'm pretty sure, so maybe we should learn English when we come here. Not that I have anything against Spanish. Yo hablo español. You know, I talk Spanish. I can talk Spanish all day. But I'm just saying. That's kind of weird. In response, she asked the college, which operates ironically under Arizona's English-only legal requirement, well, you know, there's so many laws that say you must publish books that state facts, and you know that they obviously don't do that because they're still teaching, you know, garbage. To help enforce, let's see, what was I? Okay, yeah, to help enforce the use of English in her class so she could continue to pursue her educational goals. However, according to the complaint, Bennett was targeted by the school with ridicule, attacks, threats, and eventually a 9-month suspension. The group Pro English is helping Bennett with legal support. Oh. Only in America these days, I guess, right? What happened to Terry Bennett is an outrage, said Pro English Executive Director Robert Vandervoort. For simply seeking a classroom environment where she can learn in English, Terry was harshly treated by the PCC administration, viciously insulted, and punished with a 9-month suspension. This school should be known as Politically Correct College, said Vandervoort, whose organization advocates for the use of English as a unifying factor. We look forward to bringing justice for Terry and making sure other students are allowed to learn in English. Paul Salbach, Public Information Manager for the tax-supported institution, sent a college-approved statement on the case to WND. Due to federal law protecting student privacy, Pima Community College is now able to comment specifically about Terry Bennett's situation, it stated. But the college did talk about the case, explaining, we are confident that evidence will demonstrate that the college acted appropriately with respect to Ms. Bennett's situation. PCC also touted its positive learning environment for all students and efforts to hold students and employees accountable to those standards. While the legal process is pending, we do not believe it would be appropriate to make a detailed statement about the allegations in the lawsuit. The statement concluded. There's a video here. If you want to go check it out for yourself, this article kind of goes on. I'm kind of interested in this, so I'm going to read it. Pro English explained that after Bennett asked for English usage in her class, school administrators called Miss Bennett a bigot, and she received a 9-month suspension. Is that all liberals do like these days? Is that how you can? I guess that's how you tell a liberal from a regular person these days. Is they raise their voice, thinking that that's supposed to give them some credit for. I don't understand it, I guess. But I guess that's how you see is the bullying, patronizing, like, you know, demeanors that they give you. Let's see. Ms. Bennett reached out to Pro English for assistance in May as PCC took these actions against her. Pro English contacted the Arizona law firm of Munger and Chadwick to represent Ms. Bennett on July 8, 2013. The school was served with a complaint from Ms. Bennett through her attorneys seeking administrative review. Pro English said. So the court complaint dated Monday alleges violations of the Arizona Constitution and the First Amendment, as well as unlawful suspension, defamation, violation of the right to privacy and false light, discrimination, retaliation, harassment, breach of contract, breach of duty of good faith, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. On or about March 18th, 2013, Ms. Bennett started a class in Introduction to Nursing presented by PCC instructor Ms. Elizabeth Coleman. During this class, the talking interruptions and distractions, all in Spanish, from her peers increased dramatically to the point that it impeded Ms. Bennett's ability to concentrate, focus, listen to the lecture, and participate in group studies, skill labs, clinicals, and other learning activities, the complaint alleges. Within weeks, there was an interaction between Spanish-speaking students and non-Spanish-speaking students in class, in which the Spanish speaker was asked not to speak in Spanish in front of the non-Spanish speakers. The Spanish-speaking group of students laughed and mocked Miss Bennett and the other non-Spanish speakers, the complaint notes. Well, dude, like, I don't know, man. I don't feel good about dissing my own people, but that's all we do is laugh. You know, someone asks you anything nice, it's like laugh at them and make them feel like garbage. It's like compassion or having any type of emotions is some type of weakness to them. It's like, oh, he's weak because he's not acting arrogant and stupid. So I don't know. I can't. You know, whatever, dude. It's just what I see. It's funny though. Anyways, eventually she complained to the school, and in meeting with David Kutzler, the director of the nursing program, Kutzler accused Bennett of discriminating against Mexican Americans and threatened to write her up for a violation of the Code of Conduct based on discrimination and harassment, the complaint says. He accused Bennett of being a bigot and a bitch and warned, "You do not want to go down that road." Wow. You see, because everything's mafia run, honey. If you want to step up to the mafia, you're going to be called a B, and you're going to get told to shut up and sit down, okay? You don't... You know, you're not trained by the mainstream media to be empowered, obviously, so you do what you're told, you shut up, and you sit down. Did you get that, America? This is the 3 things I want you to do, okay? Okay, yuppies, listen to me. Shut up, sit down, and I forgot the other one already. Anyways, she persisted in expressing her concerns, contacting the student service coordinator, who set up a meeting in which she was accused of discrimination. Another meeting was to follow with a dean, but the dean canceled it. Then on Monday morning, April 22nd, 2013, Miss Bennett arrived on campus. She immediately noticed Mr. Kutzler running from his car into the nursing office building. She also noticed there was several law enforcement vehicles in the parking lot. As Miss Bennett entered the building, she was approached by a man who identified himself as head of the PCC security and who requested whether she was Terry Bennett and requested her to show her identity card, and which Bennett did. Ms. Bennett was given a sealed envelope, informed that she was immediately suspended from PCC and instructed to leave campus immediately. Upon information and belief, a police vehicle followed her to the freeway. Mr. Kutzler sent an email to PCC staff advising them that they were not allowed to talk to Ms. Bennett. The case says Bennett was humiliated, shamed, and afraid because of the encounter. Everything's gangbanger. Even, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to tell you guys out there, is everyone thinks they're gangbangers. So you have to tell them straight up, dude. Can't be afraid of people laughing at you, because that's their defense mechanism. I'm stupid, so I laugh about everything. You know, you got to be able to stand up to that, man. You can't just say, "Oh, you're a gangbanger, so I'm supposed to bow down." Oh, you're a cop, I'm supposed to, oh, man, can I lick your boots? You know, it's not about all that. You know, come on out there, shake the cobwebs off. One part of the sealed letter accused her of presenting an unreasonable risk of danger to herself and or others, or your presence on college property poses a significant risk of disruption disruption of education activities. I heard this guy tell me the other day that Trayvon shouldn't have been walking out on the street if he didn't want. Dude, you see, that is the same exact thing I just heard here. If you become a victim, no matter what it is, it always has to be your fault. It's your fault you're a victim. It's your fault that something bad happened to you. It doesn't have that. Everyone's just. It's a kind of a cop out actually, because it's like you're so lazy that your entire thought process doesn't even acknowledge that all of the different elements out there. If you read the book of Job, you realize that Job's friends were actually. When I was reading the book of Job, I was like, whoa! I was like, like I didn't understand it, but then I understood it very well afterward, because what the whole thing about the story that I got was that Job's friends were not. They were doing exactly what all these people do. They're doing exactly what people do in general. They blame you for whatever bad happens to you. That's just it's your fault. So that's why everyone has this false sense of security where it's like, I'll give up my rights. I'll give up all my rights as long as I never become a victim. And that's weak. That's being weak. You can't just give up all your rights to have all this convenience. But anyway, that's where that comes from. That's that. Like I tell you, everything that you believe comes from something. Got to have this foundation of where everything comes from. But anyways, her punishment was the 9th month suspension. However, the lawsuit notes that the school offered no reasons for the charges. A second part of the sealed letter accused her of engaging in discriminatory conduct, disrupting class and harassing sick Mexican American students in her class with inappropriate remarks about their heritage. Wow. The lawsuit notes that the state constitution dictates that the English language is the official language of the state of Arizona, and a representative of government is obliged to preserve, protect, and enhance the role of the English language, as well as not discriminate against any person or in any way penalize any person because the person uses or attempts to use or wishes to use the English language. Bennett's representatives told local media outlets they likely would seek damages amounting to 6 figures. That's a good amount of money. And yeah, I get that too, like, oh, you sound whitewashed. No, I just read. It's a funny thing about reading is the more you read, the better you start to talk. It's actually just I didn't just one day wake up and I had this vocabulary or I had this I'm not even articulate, man. I don't even know how to speak, I'm not a good speaker. I didn't go to like those classes where you give these lectures, and I didn't do all that. But like, what I have to say though is that the more you fill your head with knowledge, the more you'll just start to put together your own thoughts, man. That's how you think. It's funny that in this age you have to explain how to think to people. I've had people tell me I think too much. I thought that was funny. You see, I don't know, man. It's just, don't be ashamed of what you are. Your potential is ridiculous. And the reason why you're afraid to express that is because other people are not going to celebrate how successful you are. No one's going to celebrate how happy you are. Only you have, that's something just for you. That's between you and God, how happy and grateful you are. But don't expect other people to be like, cool, he's happy. No, they're going to be like, man, something's wrong with that guy. So just understand, dude, that's just human nature, and I love everyone. Don't be too critical, because, that's what we all, I once was, not, I still am, I'm not perfect, but all you guys that like to hear the news, hit the subscribe button, come back whenever you feel like, and hear the news. I'll break it down. Let's defeat, all this, all this race baiting and all this divide and conquer by, expressing what we really believe, man. Not just laying back and believing the mainstream media talking points and having to go by everything they say. You can find out the truth for yourself. So, God bless you.